Welcome to the latest edition of 5 Minutes of Management. As always, with Rick Bell, I'm Frank Kalman. We've got our last edition of Workforce Live coming to Atlanta in just a few short weeks. We'll be in Buckhead on May 6th, so be sure to check that out. Rick, what do we have going on today?
The ATL.
The ATL, the ATL,
That's
Hotlanta.
Awesome. Hi, nice. So Frank, I like to walk at lunchtime, and so we have these underground subterranean corridors that popularly known in Chicago as the Pedway. Well, right next door to us is the Hyatt Regency Chicago. And I noticed as I was walking through the hallways that they're doing an employee, let me find the phrase, the colleague experience survey. And so the Hyatt was holding this, and it just made me start thinking. It's like, if I was allowed to say what I wanted to say in complete anonymity, would I be truthful? Would I be honest? And I think that's a question that a lot of companies are asking themselves. What do our employees think of what we're doing? And are we being successful? But I also feel that there's a level of trust that has to be built too. So as I was walking around, it just got me to thinking about, would people be truthful in speaking out about their company and about their colleagues?
Yeah, there's been a big push recently, I think, on transparency in general. Last week in our video, we talked about pay transparency. And, this week we're talking about sort of transparency of feedback or performance. If you're the guy who, leaves the stinky fish in the fridge, are you going to be the one who's going to confront that person? I think it's a valid question. It's interesting that there was that event being held near our office at that hotel. I mean, do you have anything to tell me? Have I been
Frank,
transparent?
You are as transparent as a window. I can see everything, and everything is good. But now I understand that there's this one company in San Diego that is posting an interesting sort of job posting for tech talent.
That's right. Speaking of transparency, this one company out of San Diego, I believe, according to an article in SF Gate, found an interesting job listing on Craigslist in which the company wasn't really too shy about describing the duties of this to-be developer pretty liberally in terms of language. And what we mean by that is that, they're searching for a effing great developer. And the listing goes on to describe some of the work as someone who would be able to improve our already effing great scalable architecture. So, we talk about kind of the kooky culture of the programmer environment. To even some sense, it's been described as the bro-grammer environment. A job posting like this doesn't really help alleviate that image. What are your thoughts on the company taking such a vulgar approach?
Well, I think it's effing interesting that you bring this up because, anything to get some attention, and if you're able to grab somebody's attention with your ad, it's like when we get job applications or inquiries, there needs to be that little something that catches your attention. And I give the San Diego company props for reaching out not only in their area, but also into the Bay Area where there's a ton of tech talent, and they're looking for these people, and they're effing going out there and kicking some A.
Yeah, and considering the high level of competition happening in the tech market, I think it's kind of interesting for this small player to just be really straightforward, and it's very emblematic, I'm sure, of their culture. And I'm sure they were able to fill the role or are on their way to filling the role.
It's interesting, though, that they do it on Craigslist.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Ironic, of course. Well, that's all we have for this week's edition of 5 Minutes of Management. Of course, remember to check out Workforce Live in Atlanta if you're in the area on May 6th. And we'll see you next week.
Take care.